Hey friends, this is the Miss Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead. Cup's getting bigger. You know I'm annoyed. Do you remember my meltdown last Friday? Because I had made an appointment. I made 2 appointments back to back, one with my pain specialist and one with my GP. And I couldn't find my keys. And I had a meltdown because I missed my appointments. My doctor only issued me 2 weeks worth of my sleep medication because she said, I want to see you. So I said to her, the receptionist, what is 15 pills going to do me? What is 2 weeks worth of pills going to do me when it takes over a month to get in to see the doctor? So I had the receptionist phone the doctor's office and explain what was going on. And the doctor's receptionist called me back and told me that I needed to go into the walk-in clinic, which is where she works on Friday mornings, to the walk-in clinic. Now, walk-in clinics, folks, if you don't get there the moment it opens, you're waiting all day. So that was a pain in the butt, but I got there Friday. Howie took me there. He dropped me off. Cost me $80. Now, that may not sound like a lot for my American friends, but normally when you go to the doctor, it doesn't cost anything. But it cost me $20 because my doctor is in Ontario and I live in Quebec, and there's a deficiency between the two insurance systems. So I have to pay $20 whenever I go. However, when I went up to the counter to pay my $20, I had to pay $60 on top of it for my 2 missed appointments because I couldn't find my keys last week. Not nice? Anyway, I went up to the receptionist, paid my money, and told her, I'm here because I missed an appointment and my doctor has to see me, and she is working in the walk-in clinic today. So that got me in earlier. I only had to wait an hour and a half. So I go in to see my doctor, and what you need to know about this is this doctor has only been my doctor for a little over a year. Prior to that, I had a doctor for 10 years or more who knows my history better. So the new doctor looked things over and said, okay, I want to take you off those sleeping pills. And I said, you can't take me off those sleeping pills. I have insomnia. She said, well, doesn't the marijuana look after that? And I looked at her and I realized that excuse me, folks, most common GPs, most specialists don't know anything about, really don't know much about natural medicine because that's not what they're taught. Excuse me. They're not taught about marijuana. They're not taught about herbs and things. They're taught the pharmaceutical route. So they really don't know what it can and can't do. Because they didn't go through 10 years or 7 years of medical school or whatever to learn about plants. They learned about pharmaceuticals and techniques. So I had to explain to her that although marijuana, the indica strains of marijuana are very beneficial to insomnia because they help you relax, whereas sativas are better for during the day, it doesn't replace sleep meds for insomniacs. Granted, I have gone from 2 sleeping pills down to 1 sleeping pill, and I was working my way down to a half of one, but I still need a certain amount in the evening before I go to bed and even then, even on full dose, I'm only sleeping 4 hours a shot, and that's on a good evening. So I explained to her, no, it doesn't replace insomnia meds. If you're tired or you need to rest and you are just a regular person who doesn't have insomnia and you smoke an indica or you ingest indica marijuana, you will relax and you probably will have a nap. Not an insomniac. Okay? So she didn't want me on these sleeping pills because apparently they're addictive, which I beg to differ because I'm already gone from 2 milligrams down to a half a milligram most of the time. Now, the problem is, folks, you all know this, but she does not. She only knows what's in front of her, is that I am uber chemically sensitive. Have been my whole life, and it's only getting worse with the food additives and the pollutants that I lived through from 1964 until around 1995 when we started doing things a whole lot healthier. But I was willing to give it a go, and she wanted to change my sleep meds. She said, this one is non-addictive. And I said, okay. She said, but don't go completely off your sleep meds your other sleep meds, because you might go through withdrawal. And I said to her, but if I'm not taking this and I'm taking this, if this is supposed to be a sleep medication, why would I go through withdrawal from the other sleep medication if this actually works? I don't understand, folks. So she said, just take a half of your sleep med and a half of this one and see what happens. Well, you know me, folks. I'm not a wiener. You know what I mean? I'm either going to go on it or I'm not. So I didn't take my sleep meds last night. I took these. Now, it came with a warning on the paper because the pharmacy prints you out something when you change your medication. And it said, you may experience a bitter aftertaste, a slight bitter aftertaste after taking this medication. So I thought, well, if I swallow it really quick and it doesn't get into the saliva of my mouth, I probably won't have a problem. So I took the pill. It was fine. I took it with my antidepressants, which I've been on for 23 years. And I had no problem until about 45 minutes later. And it was working. I was starting to get comfortable and relax and ready for sleep. When it hit, the most horrendous taste flooded into my mouth, like bile. Or if you're a Canadian and you've ever used generic Gravol, for my American friends, that is an anti-nauseant, anti-motion sickness pill that you take for an upset stomach or for nausea. If you suck on one of those, you will vomit. They're just so horrendously sour and bitter. It's really, really bad. This didn't even touch my saliva, excuse me. It went right down my throat. So it wasn't the pill itself that filled my mouth with the flavor. It was a reaction to the pill. Unfortunately, although I was tired and sleepy, the taste in my mouth was so bitter and so vile, I couldn't even drink water because it tasted like I was flooding it more with this horrific stuff. I'm getting an upset stomach just talking about it because guess what? I can still taste it. So it's been almost 20 hours since I took this pill, but this pill kept me up. Tired, sleepy, but awake almost all night, eating crackers and taking little bites of chocolate to suck on to get rid of this taste. And it went, all night. So, this morning, I still haven't been able to drink water. I'm drinking tea, which seems to neutralize it. But I've been chewing gum, which I don't normally do, and I've been drinking tea, and that's pretty much it. And my stomach's still upset. I phoned the pharmacy this morning, and I told them, and they said, well, okay, they looked it up, and they said, well, yeah, there's something about, there's a bitter aftertaste. I said, no, this is not a bitter aftertaste. This is still in my mouth. It's still in my mouth. Right now, folks, it's been 20 hours, and it's not too bad, and it's about to go. But if I were to take this tonight, I'd start the cycle all over again. And I am not doing dry heaves for anybody, for any reason. So this is my problem. The pharmacist says, well, that's not a normal reaction. And I said, you think? Really? Well, this is also the same pharmacy who, when I travel across the border, which we're not doing right now, but we may be doing sometime in this winter, we may take Mom over to the Akwesasne Reserve and go to the casino there for a day or two. Mom wants to go to Myrtle Beach. I have no idea. But in the winter, I don't go to the doctor because of the weather and the driving and the stress of driving. So I said to her, I need something that if I cross the border anytime in the next 6 months to a year, that I can actually take pain meds with me because they will not allow me to take my marijuana. Now, folks, you know I'm allergic to almost all painkillers. And nor can I have anti-inflammatories or ibuprofen or anything like that. So she said, well, what can you take? I said, there's only one left, and it's Percocet. That's all I can take. So she gave me enough Percocet so that if we cross the border for a few days or even up to a week, I have pain medication. So that's tucked away. But when I went to the pharmacy and they gave him that, well, actually Howie went into the pharmacy for me and picked up my pills. And we got halfway home and I was looking at the pills and they gave me oxycodone. And I said, turn around, we got to go back to the pharmacy. So went back to the pharmacy, we went. And he said, well, it's the same thing. I said, no, sir. I respectfully disagree. It is not the same. He said, well, one's just generic. And I said, one is called Percocet and one is called oxycodone. I cannot take oxycodone. I can't. My body goes into a nerve itch. It's like I'm crawling with ants. And he said, but it's the same thing. I said, sir. He said, no, it's not the same. It's the same, but it's generic. And I said, then there's obviously something in the generic version, the oxycodone, that I can't have, or my doctor would not have prescribed me Percocet. So he switched them out. I wish they would just listen, right? They don't listen. So she told me today when I phoned them, I talked to the other pharmacist, and she said, well, I'll send a fax to your doctor, and she may want to see you again, because this is like, she said, I've looked this up, and there can be, not too many people actually get the bitter aftertaste, and usually those who do, it doesn't last more than an hour. Folks, I'm just now at 20 hours, and I'm just probably going to be able to drink water at bedtime without flooding my mouth with the taste. So she said, yours is an unusual reaction. I said, of course it's an unusual reaction. It's me. Me. There's a reason I'm on marijuana. So anyway, guess what? She said, my doctor may want to see me. Do you remember the meltdown? And the apology for the meltdown? And then I had to go to the walk-in clinic. And she changed my meds and may want to see me again? Not happening. I'm done going to the doctor for the year. These are garbage. No good. I react to them. So I had 15 days worth of my other my other sleep medication. So I'm just going to have to cut them in half and hope they do until she gets this sorted out. But to the doctors out there, when you have chemically sensitive people who have proven time and time again that most medications do not react normally for me, you don't go and change the medication, but not prescribe the old medication just in case it doesn't work. Isn't that fun? So anyway, that's that. Briar's back tire fell off his bike that's only 4 months old. So I took that back with him today. And I told him, I said, they said, well, the warranty. And I said, I don't care what the warranty says. This bike is under 6 months old. It is a $579 Schwinn bike. My son needs it to ride to and from work. It's not good when the back tire falls off because the gears let go. I don't care if the moving parts are not under warranty. This is obviously a problem. So he said, well, I can't just replace the bike because it's Saturday and the guy who would make that decision is not there. I said, fine. You can take the bike and you can call me. I either want it replaced or repaired. I don't care what the warranty says. The bike's 4 months old, well paid for, and not abused. So they were very nice. And but when we left, Briar looked, you know, because he said, well, I can't make that decision. And I said, then you find me somebody who can. Well, he's not here. I said, then phone him and I will talk to him. So he went and made a phone call because he obviously was not turning me loose on his boss on the phone. But when we left, we had to leave the bike there, and they're going to call me Monday and let me know what can be done, if anything. Because, folks, $579 bike and the back tire falls off and all the gears let go. I'm sorry. I don't give a fiddler's fart what the warranty says. That's just negligence of some kind on it must have been built on a Monday or a Friday or something. We left the Canadian Tire store, and Briar took one look at me and he said, I would not want to deal with you if I was in customer service. I said 9 times out of 10, people are used to being told, oh no, we can't do anything about that. It's not under the warranty. But I said to my son, I said, most people are used to saying, okay, sorry, my fault. Not me. I don't go there. You know me, folks. So, Briar's leaving it in my hands, and hopefully it'll get fixed. I don't care if it gets fixed or replaced. Either way, 6 months after spending almost $600 on a bike and it falls apart, I'm sorry. I don't give a shit about warranties. Warranties are usually to protect the company from getting taken, which is fine. And if something were to wear out, within a year or whatever, that's different. But things falling apart, I'm sorry. That may not be covered under warranty because it's not supposed to happen. Hello? Anyway, so that's what's going on. Papa has been out hunting, and we're almost finished putting up our Christmas lights. We do not light our Christmas lights until after November 11th, which is our Remembrance Day for our veterans. And but we want to get them up early as possible. Like a lot of folks in the U.S. won't turn their lights on until after Thanksgiving, which is totally understandable. I'm tired of the advertisements for Christmas and Christmas movies on TV. It's already driving me bug shit crazy. But that's why I watch Netflix. This is the Miss Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying no deer yet. And let's hope that my sleeping medication and Briar's bike will get resolved quickly and without me having to, get into people's faces. All right? I hope you guys have been having a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. God bless.